All right, hey guys, I'm going to try to demo how to get started with our project here. So what I have here is a piece of paper, drawing paper. If you have a sketchbook, you can do this in your sketchbook, or you can use a separate piece of drawing paper. It's up to you. And I have a ruler and a pencil. That's really all I need to get started. Check your eraser. If it's not good, you might want to find yourself a decent eraser for this. So first thing we do with perspective, always, any perspective drawing, is we draw a horizon line. This may seem weirdly low on the paper, but for our purposes, we want our horizon line to be low on the paper. It can even be lower than this, actually, now that I'm looking at it, but I'm going to go with this. The very next thing we do with perspective, when you're drawing anything in perspective, creating three-dimensional objects, is you need a vanishing point. That's the key to everything. So the vanishing point does not have to be in the middle when you're doing a perspective drawing, but for our purposes, again, we're going to put ours right in the middle. You need a dot that you can see and find multiple times when you're drawing lines that go to the vanishing point. Totally key, you need that. So this guy right here, if you don't have this on your paper, you're not doing it correctly. There's no way you can draw accurate three-dimensional shapes using the method of perspective without doing that. Now, drawing the letters of your name, first name, last name, shorter version of your first name, a nickname, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do is up to you. However, a good idea might be to draw some guidelines for the top and bottoms of the letters. Just so we're clear and it doesn't get confusing, this horizon line is not going to be part of your drawing. I drew it on there because the horizon line is always present in any perspective drawing, painting. Sometimes you can't see it because there's stuff in the way, but it's always there, and the vanishing point is always on the horizon line. So I'm going to, my vanishing point remains, right? I'm going to draw some guidelines for the top and bottom of my letters. And I'm going to do it like this. I'm just going to draw some light lines. Your letters do not have to be in a straight line though. So if you wanted your letters kind of mixed up or in a curve, it's up to you, as long as you draw them correctly in perspective, because that is the lesson, right? So I have these guidelines here. If you have a long name, you might have to make your guidelines thinner so you could fit more letters. My first name's Frank, in case you didn't know, so I'm going to try doing that. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to draw my letters out freehand. If you want nice block letters, you want to use a ruler. Perspective relies on precise lines and execution of precise lines, right? We're always using a ruler when we draw the vanishing point lines, which you'll see in a minute. But for my purposes here, I think I'll start out with a ruler line, but I don't want to make, a 25-minute video here. So I'm going to make a line for my F, and I'm just going to draw carefully, try to draw some nice straight lines here. Again, guys, on yours, take the time to draw ruler lines if you want block letters. You can make curvy, bubble letters. It's up to you. So I'm going to continue. I'm not going to draw another ruler line for my R. I'm just going to wing it. I made some really wide guidelines, so we're going to see if my name fits. If not, it's okay. I recommend everything is drawn very lightly. I'm drawing this dark so you can see it on the video. Hopefully you can see these guidelines when you watch it. But there's a lot of erasing in perspective, not just for mistakes, but just because you're erasing lines you don't need anymore. So always draw lightly. We can go over it later, and we're going to color it. I'm not going to be able to fit my whole name, I can tell already. So it looks like my name is Fran today. So, if this happens to you, because you've drawn it lightly, you erase, you make your guidelines thinner, and, you try it again. Or, of course, you get another piece of paper. So my end's kind of wonky. I'm leaning over so I don't bump my phone. I'm trying to do this, so bear with me on that. I don't want you to misunderstand and just think that you could draw freehand letters. You can, but they should be drawn slowly and carefully. If you want block letters, you're going to use a ruler, okay? All right, perspective works like this. I need to find each one of these corners of the letters, right, that will that will lead to the vanishing point and draw a line that goes to the vanishing point. When I do this, guys, let me move some stuff here, my coffee. I want to make sure that I start in this far left corner of my F. Every time I draw a line, I need to make sure that my ruler is right on the corner and right on the vanishing point. Not just close to the vanishing point, right? But right on the money there. And I line it up carefully first, then I draw a line that goes to the vanishing point. I'm going to draw this dark so you can see it. Again, draw everything lightly at first. It's going to make it easier for you because you're going to be doing some erasing. So I go to the next corner and I draw a new line. Here's a common mistake. People move over to the next corner and they forget what's going on over here, and they wind up drawing their line, you know, somewhere else than the vanishing point. Every time you go to draw a new vanishing point line, your ruler must be, make sure your ruler is right on the money, right on the vanishing point, and right on the corner of the letter or the curve of the letter, which we'll talk about in a sec. But there's 2 points always to line our ruler up with. So I'm going to draw this line. When I come to the R here, just because of the way my name is and the way where the vanishing point is, this F line and the R line here from the corner are pretty much the same. So that tells me I don't need to draw a line because it's kind of already there. And look at this. See that, guys? I missed it a little bit. It seems minor, if you can see that on the video, but it's stuff to pay attention to. Perspective relies on precise lines. That's what makes it look cool. That's what makes it look correct. Now, inside the R here, there's a corner in there, right? Let's see if I can line my ruler up at that vanishing point, and the corner, and if it will go. Yeah, it's going to work. So I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to do another one here. If you see here, I don't know if you guys can see that on the video, my lines are slightly off. I'm talking while I'm trying to do this. I'm actually leaning over to the right so I don't bump my phone. So it's actually a good example, like, to pay attention. All the lines should lead right there. This, a little off like it is right now, is okay. But you want to be as precise as possible and not be any more off your vanishing point than what you see on my video right now. So I'm drawing these lines. Check it out. I'll lift up my ruler in a sec. We'll see how cool it already looks. So it's looking pretty cool already, right? Very three-dimensional, coming out. My vanishing point could have been down here more, right? It could have been almost down to the bottom of the paper if I wanted to. In fact, that would give me more three-dimensional, you know, that length on my lines, and even make my name look more exploding, if you will. So if you want to put your vanishing point low on the paper, do so. Now,